Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching in the world. Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. I'm a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. And guys, if you like all things true crime related from a police perspective, please hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you will get all things DutyRon when I go live or when I upload another video. And today, as posted, I normally don't go live at 12:30 in the afternoon Eastern time, but I am off from work today. And as promised, I have Jenn and Kyle Bethune. And I know that they're going to correct me in the way I say it because I'm not saying it the right way. So when they come on, they're going to go, "Hey, New Yorker, you gotta tighten up your game." But I have them on. These are the folks who are responsible, and I feel strongly about this. They were responsible for bringing Gabby home as soon as they were shared that video that they took. So I thought it was very important, and it was very, very important to get the message out to anybody who is out there that has any information. As we say in the New York City Police Department, if you see something, say something. And Jenn and Kyle, they did that. And they did it with a little bit of help. They did it with a little bit of help from their son, Ethan, but they also did it with a help from some of the folks on social media. And social media as a crowdsourcing can be evil and could be really good. And I think in this case, it became very, very good. So I will introduce Jenn and her husband, Kyle. These are great, great people. I had the honor and privilege of meeting Jenn in person at Gabby's memorial service. And I also had the pleasure of speaking with her and her husband, but I spoke with her for about an hour yesterday. I chewed her ear off in typical New York Italian fashion. And I had just a chance just now to speak to her husband, Kyle. They're a wonderful, wonderful people. And I want everyone to I want to highlight what they did, and I want everyone to see it. So without further ado, I'm going to play just a quick clip that we all know. We all know this is what they recorded on this is from their channel. Obviously, I have permission from them to play this. But this is just a few minutes I'm going to play of the video, and I'm going to get that going in a second as soon as I get my technologically challenged self. I need to get someone to help me here. But I'm going to do it, guys. I got this. I promise. All right, here we go.
Is at the Spread Creek.
2021, we got camera footage going through the Grand Tetons Park around 6 to 6:30 p.m.
This is at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. We got there and there was a huge gravel lot, and we decided we wanted to try to drive more toward the back because we had heard the views were better back there. So we were heading back on this long dirt gravel road.
And we came across a white van that had Florida plates, a small white van. We were going to stop and say hi because we're from Florida too, but the van was completely dark. There was nobody there, so we decided to continue on our way.
Yeah, the van looked like it was pretty much kind of abandoned. We figured maybe they were out hiking or they were just chilling inside. There was no doors open. You know, it was just kind of, neat to see a Florida plate, on the other side of the country. It's not something you see all the time.
But we wanted to include this in the video just in any way that we can help and get this out there to be able to find Gabby Petito. So if you could share it, if you know anything, please don't hesitate.
Yeah, as we're coming up on it, we're approaching it up here on the left-hand side. This is most definitely Gabby Petito's Ford Transit van. It's kind of wild, like it's saying a little bit, because we drove past. We actually weren't able to find any sites, and we ended up driving back through, saw it again, but here it is on the left.
And I slowed it down so you can possibly see it a little bit better.
But kind of freaky for a late Saturday evening, but we just kind of had a brain fart. Oh my God, there's that van. So if anybody can help, I know the FBI is looking for all the help they can get on the case.
I would not recommend it. Just don't do it. go on a different night because this sucks. Welcome back to Red, White, and Bethune. This month, we're doing something really special. Some of you may know that back in 2011, we lost our son Ethan in a car accident on the way to Disney for his 7th birthday. Every September since, we do what's called Pay It Forward for Ethan, where we challenge you to do a random act of kindness every day in the month of September.
This year, guys, we are taking it up a notch. We have started a GoFundMe for Mental Health America. Mental Health America is an organization that goes into communities all over the United States, promoting and seeking and finding people who need help with their mental health. We're huge advocates for mental health. It's super important to us. So we're putting a challenge out there of a $1,000 goal in the month of September. All the proceeds go to Mental Health America. We are also donating all AdSense from YouTube in the month of September to this cause as well. If you don't have the money to donate, you can support us by sharing this link or sharing our channel. So the more views we get, the more money we make, the more money we can send this wonderful organization.
So we hope that you will be just like Ethan and pay it forward to as many people as you can in the month of September.
So let's get to work, guys.
Last episode.
Amazing. Guys, I can't overemphasize how important that video, and I wanted to play that part because that is also near and dear to my heart. Mental health awareness is a huge thing for me. Helping people is what I'm all about. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Jenn with 2 N's and Kyle, her husband.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
My goodness, it is just such an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to meet you guys and have you come on to my channel. I appreciate that you have entrusted me to come on. It means a lot to me. And I just want to say to everybody, I went over and above. And I told Jenn yesterday I was stalking her channel. I really was. I was sending her messages. But then my wife said to me, Ron, she's going to be over inundated with so many people calling and trying to reach out to her. She's not going to answer you. And I said, you know what? You're right. So my wife kind of pulled the reins back on me. But listen, everybody wants to know. I mean, I know that you've told your story to the media, but we're here on the YouTube community. So with the YouTube community watching, I just would like if you guys can give just a brief overview what brought you to this and how it came about. I know the story is out there, but sometimes when folks hear it from you, personally, the both of you, it's better than me retelling the story. So if you will, I'm going to put you full screen. And you're just going to explain to these folks how this all came about.
Sure. So we were actually not even supposed to be in the Grand Tetons that night. We had just left a hangout with a bunch of other families, and we were going to go a completely different route. But one of the other families said, no, you've got to go to Spread Creek. You've got to go check out Spread Creek camping area. So we're like, all right, we fly by the seat of our pants anyway. So that's what we did. And so we happened upon the Spread Creek. Sorry, I always say it wrong. I'm so sorry.
That's what husband and wife teams are for. Husband and wife teams.
Yeah, right.
Each other. This is great.
It's what we do. So he has a GoPro, 2 GoPros. One records front facing and one records rear facing. And so what he does is he'll, turn them on, say his spiel, and then turn them off. Well, when we turned into Spread Creek, he said his little bitty spiel and then totally forgot to turn the GoPros off. And we're driving down the road, as you guys saw, and we see this white van. And I noticed, and Kyle noticed, that there's Florida plates on it. He was driving the bus. I was driving the Jeep behind. And at the same time, without even knowing, we're both thinking, oh my gosh, Florida plates, we've got to come back and say hi. We were going to stop, but the van looked pretty closed up. I mean, we assumed they were like out hiking. So as we're driving back down the road, in the raw footage that we posted, you can see there's a turnaround and then the footage stops. Well, that's because the batteries died at that point in the GoPro. And Kyle called me on the phone and he was like, did you see that van? I was like, yeah. Did you see that van? I was like, it had Florida plates. And he was like, let's stop back by if they're there, because it didn't look like they were there. I'm like, okay, cool. So as we're driving back by, this still looked pretty closed up, and it was getting late. At this point, it was like 6:15 in the evening. We have hungry kids. And so we ended up just pulling back into that gravel lot up front and just staying the night up there, and the next morning heading out on our way.
Just an amazing story of how it just happened so naturally. And you mentioned in the video that you posted, the 14-minute video, it went on to talk about episode 1. You guys talked about what happened with your son Ethan on his 7th birthday in 2011. And my heart and my prayers and my strength, I send every ounce of it to you guys and every family who loses a child. There is no greater loss. And as everybody says, we're not supposed to bury our children. Talk about some of the connection that you had with Nicole, being a mom who lost a child. I get broken up just even talking about it, but I think that there's such a strong connection. If you could just briefly, if you want to, just give us a little bit of not the personal details, but of that emotional connection, spiritual connection that you had with Nicole.
Yeah, we actually ended up finding the footage on what would have been Ethan's 17th birthday. So we found this footage on his birthday. And the morning after, first I obviously sent it to the FBI, and then I sent it to the Gabby Petito page, and I sent it to Joe Petito, her dad, on Instagram. And the next day I get an email in the morning. Of course, we're being inundated with every news outlet in America calling us at this point.
And DutyRon.
And DutyRon, everybody. And I get an email from Nicole, Gabby's mom, and she asked if she could FaceTime me. And of course, I was like, absolutely. Yeah. And so, we FaceTime, and it's just, if you've never lost a child and been able to connect with another mom who has, it's like a safety net reaches out. You're falling from a building, and a safety net reaches out and grabs you. I had those people for me. Like when I lost Ethan, that hug of a mom who's a bereaved mother meant the absolute world to me. And at this point, we still hadn't found Gabby, but just the fact that I could be there for her. We had a good mama cry together. We didn't discuss details. It was just more so letting her know that I'm here. I've got you.
And also the energy and strength that you received back from her was extraordinary too. So when we see Nicole and her entire family, Joe and everybody up there, Jimmy, and that network, like you talked about, of your family and your inner circle coming at you at a time of need like that is so important. And people just, if you haven't gone through it, I lost my partner in 1996. He was shot and killed in the line of duty. And when we were with his widow and dressing his kids in the morning and doing all the things that she couldn't do, she said to us afterwards how much that meant. And when I saw you at the service on Sunday, just something said to me, like, this is just an amazing, because of course, like I said, I looked at all your videos. I watched some of your content. And for those of you who don't know, these guys are great content creators because they drive across the country and they're in their 1983 converted tour bus. It's like a tour bus, right? It looks like a full size, something you'd see, a rock star going around in, and it's a beautiful, beautiful home that they've created on wheels. So I've watched some of the things, and I've watched some of the conversations that she's had, and the way they opened up their family. This is, obviously before all this happened. This is just, I would have never come across them, and millions of us would have never got to see this video. And most importantly, the FBI and the folks in the Grand Tetons, they would have had a huge undertaking to find Gabby Petito's remains. And because they saw something and were put onto it by another fellow social media person, it prompted them to go back and look. And as an investigator, that is so important for us to bring closure or a piece of it to the family. And one major piece of the puzzle, and one major piece of getting to even having a chance at some type of, and I don't even like to say closure because you never get it. There's always that hole in your heart that's never replaced. But to have your loved one, and I know this because my cousin was pulverized in the World Trade Center at 30 years old. We never found any bit of him. He left and just never came home. But we knew what happened to him. They didn't know what happened to their daughter, and now they know that because of these two folks. I know you guys are limited in time, so I want to just bring on a retired Detective Sergeant, Bill Cannon. He's from Police Off the Cuff. He is a content creator, but I worked in the trenches with him over my 20 years. We never crossed paths, but we worked for the same department. He's been following this case extremely, like every detail of it, but he has highlighted you guys unbeknownst to you and spoke about the importance of what you did. So I want to just bring on quickly retired Detective Sergeant Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff. Thank you, Bill.
DutyRon, thank you so much for inviting me today. And Jen and Kyle, so great to meet you.
You as well.
I get all choked up because I think you guys, had you not been there, I don't think they would have found her for a long time. And you wouldn't think a real tough homicide sergeant would get all choked up. But I am, because God put you there to find her. And all I can say, and I said before, you're great American heroes, but you're not just American heroes, you're God's heroes. He put you there to do this. And I want to thank you for it because, look, they needed to narrow down this search, and you were the guys that did that and narrow it down. 250 yards from the van, they found her, and we talk about all the technical things with homicide, the collection of evidence, the fact that the body had been there for 23 days. And who knows if much more time had gone by, they may not have been able to collect the evidence as well as they did in the time that they got it, all because of you guys. And when I hear the story, it just, you didn't put yourself there. God put you there.
So
and I just want to.
That's the beautiful part of it, Bill, is that it happened so just organically. It was just like they weren't looking. It just happened. And I do believe things happen for a reason. And, Bill, you getting emotional is no, this is what we are not machines. They think police officers and detectives are just cyborgs. We're not programmed to just go out and do the job without emotion. And you got to see raw emotion right there. We look at families and see families all the time. They look for answers from us. Like my cousin's wife said to me, Ronnie, you got to go find Ralph. You got to bring him home. He's got 2 kids here, 2-year-old and a newborn. And when I came to her after day 6 and said, we're not going to find him, she beat me like on my chest. She pounded on my chest and said, how dare you? Screamed and yelled at me. And, I was crying like a baby because I felt like I failed. But, we're human beings and we all have emotions. And, again, it's important that the audience, the viewing audience, understand that if you see somebody doing something, just like Chris, who called 911 over in Utah, when he saw that incident taking place of the slapping and the domestic violence, so many people, and I know this to be true, say, this is none of our business. Let's mind our own business. No. It is our business to see something and say something. And Jen, that's what you and your husband did. And, there's no credit for an individual act. You guys did this together as a team. And I'm so proud and honored to highlight you on my channel. And I hope to come on yours one day and,
For sure.
just reciprocate with you guys and everyone who is subscribed. I'm approaching 100,000 subscribers here on Crime Time with DutyRon. I implore each and every one of you 100,000 folks to go on over to not only Gabby Petito's page and get her to that 1 million mark, but also go over to Jenn and Kyle with Red, White, and Bethune. Am I saying that right? Bethune?
You're saying it great.
Amanda, one of the Facebook users who sent so many emails to you about me, Amanda corrected me and said my New York accent was saying it wrong. So I got I got a little like I was like self-conscious of conscious of like, am I botching their names? And I might have down in the early ons, but much respect to you guys. I mean, I know that you have a time constraint here. Kyle's got some things to do. We got another 10 minutes. I wanted to just, if you wanted to, and this is entirely up to you, maybe touch on a couple of things that maybe happened with you on the course of this whole coming in to pay respects, or if you don't really want to touch on that, like it's okay. But I wanted the audience to know how difficult it was for you to do what you did and travel, because I was so proud. You shared that with me yesterday. We could keep it private, and I'm good with that. But I want this audience to know how difficult that was for you to travel with your service dog, Theo. I call him Theo. I'm not calling him Theodore. Theo. I like Theo. You got on a plane with Theo and you came here to New York and you paid your respects. And me, as a good detective, you thought you were getting by the news who was set up in the front. Well, DutyRon was in the back. I had the back door. I was like in the backyard security. And I saw her zip in like, you know, like a little rock star with the glasses on, whoop, 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 right into the side, into the back of the building, the funeral home. Do you care to talk just a little bit about that?
Yeah, Gabby's mom sent me a text and asked if I would please come to the funeral. And I bought the next flight out. I am terrified of flying. I hate it with a passion. That particular day, I had 6 panic attacks. Theodore definitely put in some overtime, but I knew I had to be there, and she needed me. And I know what it's like to be a bereaved mom and need another bereaved mom love and support. And so for me, it was really important. The entire time I was going around Long Island, I didn't let anybody know who I was. I didn't want to be seen. This wasn't about me. This was about Gabby. And this was about celebrating her life and being there for Gabby's family. And so when I got to the funeral home, I snuck my little behind back in the very back, sat on the couch. But I was just there. And I got to go. They invited me to go to the party afterwards. And again, didn't tell anybody where I was going, didn't post on social media. I didn't film anything, because it's one of those things that it wasn't about the content. It wasn't about the views. It was about being there for another bereaved mom that needed me. And so that's what I did. They're an amazing family. Oh my gosh. They all accepted me into family. Like, we never grew up with big families. We don't know what that's like to be around that sense of community. And I've got to tell you, my heart was so full. I mean, I know that I was there for Nicole, but leaving, my heart was so full and so thankful that we accidentally captured that footage.
So it was almost like everything came full circle and was complete.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing of it is when I saw you walk in there, my instinct said, let me go and say something to her. But then I said, wait a minute. I've just watched and stalked her whole YouTube channel. She suffers from PTSD and anxiety. Let me leave this woman alone. Like, in my own head, the little birdie came in and said, Ron, no, back up. And I did. I backed off. And it was just my kind heart that was thinking ahead of the thing. But I said to myself, if God wants me to meet her, he will. And I went up. I talked to Joe. I first talked to Nicole. And, you know, I represent EquiSearch Midwest, the search organization that goes and searches for the missing. I'm the law enforcement liaison with EquiSearch. So I've been in communication with them behind the scenes. So we had that conversation. I spoke with Nicole. I spoke to Joe. And then I said, I got to get to Jimmy, because when he was in Wisconsin, we were on hold with our drone pilots. We were ready to go. And none of that was spoken about on any of the YouTube channels, nothing. This is what I was doing to try to help the family. So in the process, I had to sneak under the little heel thing. Yeah, I was bad boy. I went under and I went boom straight to Joe, to Jimmy. And I got stopped. Someone said, hey, this is just for family only. I was wearing a t-shirt that said EquiSearch. And I said, oh, I'm a retired detective, and I've been speaking with Jimmy. I represent EquiSearch. And the guy was like, okay, go. So I went and I said my respects and sent my condolences and just a few words. And as I had to leave, I had to walk past the back where all the couches were. I saw you. And I said, there it is. There's my sign that I have to say hello to her. And I was still at that point worried that I was going to make you nervous. But because we had our conversation yesterday, I come to find out I didn't make you nervous.
Yeah, you actually, you put me at ease, honestly, because we were just inundated. In all honesty, you cannot imagine the amount of news channels that we were on and all the things that were just, we had hundreds, if not thousands of emails and messages and comments. And when I first spoke with Nicole, I was like, I will do whatever you want me to do. What do you want me to do? And I said, if you want me to do interviews, I'll do them. And she's like, go on every national interview that you can. And so that's really what I was focusing on first. But like when Ron came over and shook my hand, I knew instantly that he was good people. And as a matter of fact, I texted Kyle and I was like, I just met DutyRon. He is awesome. We're going on his show. And this guy's like, he's been texting me the whole funeral because I didn't have my phone out a lot. I wanted it to be me there for them, but I also needed a little bit of support. And so I was texting him throughout the day. But I got to say, Ron just made me feel so good and put me at ease. And so thank you, Ron, for being amazing and being you.
Jenn, when you told me that yesterday, I felt so good. And that was your gift really to me. And we did it just naturally. But I tried to be as short and brief as I could because of the circumstances that we were there for. It was about the Petito and Schmidt family. But I also wanted to give support to you because I was aware, not because we spoke, but I was aware because of your YouTube channel and the way you share everything really with your audience and your subscribers. That's why I implore everyone to go over and subscribe to these beautiful people, because not only do they show you some beautiful footage of where they go, but they share their lives, their kids, their everything. They're so transparent. And I took it upon myself. I made this decision way before yesterday. The end of the month is coming. We only have 2 days left, right? Wait, one more day. It's the 29th. So 30 days as September, April, June, and November. Yeah, we got one more day. On behalf of the DutyRon channel, I'm going to donate $500 to the foundation for you guys, the Pay It Forward. And it's just a small way of my community. And this comes from all of the subscribers and the folks who contribute to Crime Time with DutyRon. As soon as I get off, I'm going to get the link from Jenn and Kyle, and I want to do that on behalf of the community here. And
Wow.
Thank you guys for everything you do.
No, thank you. You're amazing, Ron. I mean, when we started out our channel, we've been doing it since January of 2020. We wanted to be real. We were embarking on this new adventure for our lives. Right. And we wanted to show people the good, the bad, the ugly, the joys, the laughter, the letdowns, because this life is amazing. It really is, but it's hard. Like there are difficult moments. There were so many channels out there, not knocking them. They're wonderful, but they show this pretty package of what full-time life is looks like, and ours does not look like that. We are a dumpster fire. Most days, like we're a hot mess on wheels. It's just who we are, and we show that to everybody, and we're just vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, that was very important for us, and thank you for all you for everything, Ron. That's amazing. And but yeah, I mean, our main goal with starting our channel was to help people. I mean, there's so many questions. How do you get in this life? And we promote live a life you want to live. That doesn't look like living in an RV for everyone, and that's fine. But we both worked jobs and had a life that was very stressful. We didn't want to do anymore, so we made it happen, and that's kind of what we promote. And like you said, we do show every single side of it, and because we felt that was really important.
You know, Kyle, I'm thankful that you just said that, because I didn't want to take it upon myself to say it, but due to the fact of me watching your content, and when I tell someone I watch their stuff, I really watch it. You know, I'm a detective by trade, retired now, but I pay attention to details, and the details that I got, the details, Kyle, that I got from you and your beautiful wife, Jenn, is that you guys are givers. You're not takers. You try to give as much as you can. And, you know, the fact that you've been doing the Pay It Forward for Ethan every September for quite a bit of time now, just that was it, that in itself told me that's the fan exhausting out the heat.
Yeah. Our air conditioner.
Yeah, I knew it. But so again, these guys are givers and not takers. And, you know, some people mistake kindness for weakness, and that's unfortunate. But here in my community, and I think from what I saw from one live 2 Sundays ago, or maybe it was 3, no, it was 2 Sundays ago, I came in and joined your live stream on a Sunday night.
Oh, cool.
And I saw the wonderful love pouring out for you guys. I thought that was, for me, that was a game changer. I said, I would love to be a part of this community. I subscribed immediately. And I said, I got to get to meet these people, not just because they're good people, but I needed to highlight the good that you did. And the way you discounted, Jenn, I had some Fox News interview I was going to play that you were in. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to keep it there in the hopper. I'm not going to play it. But you kept saying, we're not heroes. We just did what any good, normal human being would do. But you know what? Good citizens, good family, good people with values do the right thing. And I think that what you guys did is nothing short of heroic, as Bill said. So I thank you for taking the time to come and share your story with the YouTube community. This isn't just about me and my subscribers. This is about our YouTube community knowing the good that Red, White, and Bethune did, and what Kyle and Jenn and the family did. Like I had said on one of my live streams, I'm happy they didn't stop, because it could have been dangerous. And I was thinking of your boys and I was thinking of your family, you know, from a police standpoint. I was like, you know, what if they, God forbid, caught them in the middle of something? And now, you know, we could be talking about a whole nother horrible situation. So I think,
well, and sorry.
Go ahead, go.
I'm the extrovert in this relationship. Like I'm the outgoing one. I love talking to people. Like give me people to talk to all day long. And so in reality, I would have been the one, if there was a spot that was open. The reason why we didn't stop is because there wasn't a spot around there that was open to camp. And so had there been a spot open, he would have probably started setting up the bus and getting dinner ready. And I would have been the one to walk down there and knock on the door. So, you know, just looking back at that, I'm thankful that we didn't stop, because who knows what could have happened.
Yeah, Bill, I mean, you talked about this privately. We talked about it on our live streams. You know, again, crime knows no boundaries, as we see. It happened in the Grand Tetons. It can happen in Utah. It can happen in Florida. It happens everywhere. Crime knows no boundaries. So again, this is also a learned lesson that, you know, it's not a bad thing to be nice to fellow mankind, right? And womankind, like you did. You went around and you spread those acts of kindness on Saturday and went around to people. You took out $200. You made yourself broke at the end of the day, but you did what made your heart feel good. Right. So that was the best $200 or whatever you spent, 160. I'm sure Kyle's like, honey, you just screwed our budget up here for crying out loud. But,
he did. I came back and I told him the story of what happened. And he was like, you did what? And I was like, listen, I just felt like I need to bless people. Okay. It's $200. Who cares? So, but at the end of the day, it was $200 well spent.
I didn't even know that happened. I just guessed that that's how it went down, because my wife would have did the same thing to me. See, my relationship with my wife is exact opposite. Like I'm the friendly person, and she's like don't introduce me to anybody new. Don't bring anybody new to the house. Don't like she'll jump behind the couch and hide if I bring a friend home. You know, so my wife give me shit for it the whole rest of the weekend. Like, how dare you? My hair wasn't right. I didn't have my makeup right. You brought Sergeant Cannon over to the house and didn't tell me. And, you know, guys, it's the exact flip opposite of the relationship Kyle and Jenn have. But Jenn, again, is with two ends, and those are the good Jenns. Not saying that the people with the one end's not good, but we are particularly favored. We favor the double ends all the time. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So,
you know, DutyRon, if I could just say something.
Absolutely.
You know, we in the police profession, we see the worst and the best of everything. And in this situation, we've also seen the worst in the murder of Gabby Petito, and in the best in you guys. And being put there to, you know, to help in a large way finding Gabby Petito and having her being brought home to her family. It was no small thing. And it wasn't, when I hear of all the happenstance that put you there, it's amazing. And you can only think, if you're a person of faith, that you were put there for a reason. And
sure.
I just think it's an amazing thing, and I want to thank you for it.
Thank you. This is how we have always been our whole lives. We have tried to be good people. Our number one family rule is to be kind. And as long as we do that in life, then we're doing good. So we're going to keep living by that no matter what. And Theodore wanted to come on camera.
I got to go full screen. I got to go full screen with Theodore. Look at him. I gave him the nickname Theo. That's a New York thing. I'm calling him Theo no matter what. If you don't like it, then I won't do it. But Theo, I want to give him lots of hugs and kisses.
You can call him whatever you want, Ron. He's been called worse, so you're fine.
And look at him. Look at him. He's adorable. He was instrumental in when you said you had your panic attacks at LaGuardia Airport of saving the day. And you know what? Dogs are a man and a woman's best friend, and this is this is real life. This is no joke here. So,
well, so everybody knows. So Theodore is my service dog for PTSD, and there's a lot of common misconceptions. People think that service dogs are just for the blind or for seizures or stuff like that. But under the ADA, PTSD is now covered, and so what he does for me is he does something called deep pressure therapy, where I have him lay on top of me, almost like a weighted blanket, and it grounds me. Oh. Now, when my anxiety goes up, my pheromones go up, and he's trained to smell my pheromones and notice a change. And when he notices a change, he automatically alerts me. So, like, specifically on one of the flights, I felt myself starting to get that panic, and Theodore lays at the bottom of my feet on top of them to keep me grounded. And so as soon as he felt that pheromones, them go up, he immediately sat up and put his head right on my lap, so that I would start focusing on him and touching him, because touch brings you back to the present time. And it doesn't, if you're grounded, your panic level doesn't continue to rise. It can stay about the same. And then as I'm touching him, getting more grounded, focused on him, my panic goes down and down and down and down. So that's what he does for me.
That is a great explanation of that. So it's like, for those of you, and most of us suffer from some type of panic attacks or PTSD. So when you feel it spiraling out of control, this is a way that Theodore kind of grounds you and gets you back to, somewhat of calm, instead of it spiraling completely out of control. And there's no worse feeling than when that happens. And I hope that I didn't bring on anything. He was now just on your lap, but
no, you're good.
Oh my God. We're at the 35-40 minute mark. I kept Kyle 5 minutes past my promise time because my alarm went off.
You're good.
Ago. I love you guys tremendously. I encourage all of my subscribers and friends to go over, support these great people. I'm going to link the Gabby Petito Foundation, as I do in every single live stream that I have. Kyle and Jenn their September goal. I know they surpassed it. For those of you who've given super chats here, I will be redirecting all of them, minus obviously the 30% from YouTube AdSense. But that'll go all to Jenn and Kyle for coming on here with us. But again, it's my way of saying thanks for sharing your story, not only with us, but with the whole community on YouTube. It's just, it's almost like I don't even want to say a fairy tale, but it's almost just like such an amazing story that I can't stop talking about it. I've told my friends, my family, everybody that I could speak to, I mentioned what you guys did. And to come from a seasoned detective like myself that have seen many crime scenes, many things, and you saw Bill Cannon, 27 years, retired now a while, he broke down, and I didn't think he was going to be able to make it through. Bill, any final words, and then I'll go to Jenn and Kyle.
No, I just just want to reiterate how great what they did was, how it definitely shortened the time that if they in fact would have still found Gabby, you guys made it happen much quicker. And as I said, I'm not the most religious guy in the world, but I do believe, and I think you were put there for a reason.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, thank you, Ron, so much for having us on. Bill, you are amazing. Thank you to all of you out there that have subscribed to us and that have donated, and just it makes me feel so good that there's so many other amazing, beautiful, wonderful people out there such as yourselves. And my heart is so full, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Sure.
Well, I'll just say this, Jenn, and thank you for those beautiful words. My community is now part of your community, and vice versa. If your folks and any of your subscribers, your people need anything, I want to actually come back and talk about what you posted on your community post about people denying access to folks like yourself. The discrimination that goes on in that area, I've seen it happen. I don't think anybody in the chat cannot raise their hand and say that they've experienced that, where a restaurant or a establishment or a Uber service or somebody that refuses to pick somebody up with a service dog. I think it's horrific, and there's no room for this in any day and age. Forget about 2021. So maybe you can come back in the future, no rush to come back and join us for a conversation about that. And I'd be honored to join you on your channel if you want to dive into that on anything.
Yeah, I would love that.
That's awesome. I again, like I said, guys and girls, please remember, follow these folks on all things social media. I will link everything: her Facebook, her website, her YouTube channel. I'm going to actually put it, if I could show it. Let's see if I can do this. I think I can get away with this. Yeah, there it is. So let me get up onto their main thing. See, I'm subscribed, just so everybody knows. 41,000. So there's their channel, folks. I'm going to go full screen with it so everybody could see it. There's their beautiful family up in the upper right as I'm looking at the screen. And on the left, again, in front of the tour bus. I like to call it the Bethune tour bus. And they got a great little sticker, I think, on the back of it. And here's their channel. It's beautiful. Guys, go over and subscribe. It will be linked for my lazy folks that just need a link to click on. But here's all their stuff. It's a great channel. They're at 41,000. Let's get them up. Let's get them up to 100. Guys, these guys are awesome people, and I'm looking forward to many more live streams with you guys. As I like to end these, I'm going to end it by saying what I say at every end of all of my videos and live streams. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us, but especially all victims of crime and their families. And right now at this point, especially Gabby Petito's family, Nicole, Jimmy, and Joe, and the extended family. We send you strength, prayers, and positive vibes always. So good night, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you guys are watching. Thank you for joining. Jenn and Kyle, you guys are awesome. Bill, thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.